This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we'll begin with the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody to the April 28th Marion County Commission meeting. It's the main agenda item is payday. Before we start.
Can we switch into admin first?
Yes, we certainly
If
can.
that's okay. All right. So I have two items on administrative business before we get into payday. The first one is we talked earlier this week at the first meeting about potentially applying for a grant for substance abuse funds with the help of Prairie View. And so we did meet with them, Sheriff and some of his folks and myself. And so the grant, I don't have the application for you to approve. So it's still being worked up, which means it's gonna kind of just be fit into today, and I'll have to submit it by 5 somehow, which it'll work, it'll be fine. But the grant, I believe we would like to apply for a $200,000 grant. The idea is that it would fund a full-time corrections officer that would do regular correctional duties, plus additionally would be a person that would coordinate services. They would evaluate for substance abuse, mental health issues, coordinate services through a caseworker and with Prairie View for mental health services, try to hook those folks up with some resources before they leave jail. So it funds that officer entirely. It would also fund a full-time case manager that would actually be a Prairie View employee that would work with our jail. They would they would be coming to the jail regularly, so that the inmates would know them, and they would be meeting with those inmates and be central in facilitating that relationship and then the care afterward. And it also is 0.2, so not quite a quarter time, qualified mental health professional to provide some mental health services where needed. It would also be eligible for some, there's a 10% that can be just towards administrative costs, which is included in the grant. It can also be for supplies and a few other items. I think it can also be used to purchase, I don't know, it's Narcan? I don't know.
Narcan, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you so choose, I think we can put that in there. So, do you have anything else to add?
Let me step up here. I think that probably the one thing we need to focus on for the key success of this is to help the person who's the repeat offender coming into the jail, because they have maybe a substance abuse substance abuse has caused the mental illness. What we're seeing, and we're talking to Prairie View, is a lot of the failures and why we have people coming back in is because when they're with us, it's a very structured life. They do everything, they start getting better, they start healing up mentally. But once they make that bond, they don't have somebody there. So this is gonna hopefully set them up for success, that maybe in the long run, we won't see the repeat offenses and we won't see the repeat stays in the jail. That is the ultimate goal at the end of it.
Would you say that this might be, if you had an officer that comes all the time, that the judge could even set appointments for him to come back? Or is that what you see down the road with this?
I would hope so. I would hope that would be part of the bond conditions.
Yeah.
But I think there's limitations to what the judge can say.
Right.
But yeah, I totally agree. I hope it is something we can do that way.
Because you're exactly right. Once they leave the structured life, why, it becomes the old life, and the old life was not good, but it's easy to fall into.
They got, who do you lean on?
Yeah.
Their friends.
Yeah.
So, well, if they got somebody else that they're going to see, there's a support structure.
Yeah. We all in this room started this when I took office, trying to figure out Prairie View, trying to figure out where we stand and where everything's going. This partnership has done nothing but grow since we've all started talking about this, and I think this was the end goal. And thankfully, the government has stuck some money out there, and I think it's prime time to grab a hold of it, see what we can do. With that said, I just want everybody to know in this room that that lady's done most of the work on this.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, she has spent countless hours on this already, so I want her to be recognized for this.
Well, I'm excited because it sounds like this is just the perfect fit to plug into the needs. It's just too bad it had to be in such a short time frame to put it together, but it sounds like it is the opportunity
Yes,
to
it
jump
is.
on.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
anything we can do to support and help.
So,
Get this
so
across the
really
line.
what we need today, since I don't have the actual application for you to look at, what we need from the board is approval to apply for the $200,000 grant, based on what has been outlined, but
And what is the name of the grant? Sorry,
that's okay.
thought we should at least ask the
That's
name of the
okay.
program.
Let me,
Or you can put it in the minutes later.
Would it be your intentions then, Jeff, to have one of your people do the legwork then from here on after maybe, or?
So once the grant happens,
If it does
then I
happen.
believe if it does happen, I believe it'll be up to us then to give the purview out of our office to get this started up and get it set up. The biggest thing that on her end is I don't know the numbers that she knows.
Right.
For salaries and everything else. So that was why she was so key for this to
Yeah.
get started.
Cool.
But, yeah, eventually we will have to grab a hold of it and we'll take control of it.
Well, and it's an annual
Yeah.
application, so
Yes.
it can be funded again each year.
that circle part is what it's called, the Kansas Fights Addiction.
Okay. I would move that we approve the application to the Kansas Fights Addiction grant in the amount of $200,000 under the outline as presented by the sheriff and the county clerk.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garing. Questions? If not, I think this is a great opportunity. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Okay.
Again, thank you for all your work in a short period of time, which was also a very busy period of time. And Sheriff, thank you also. Again, I think this is, it sounds like this is what we really want.
Does the chairman need to sign anywhere on that? So what would it be going?
It's all online.
Okay.
It's an online.
Okay.
Getting the apply to approve to receive.
If we're awarded, I'll need the board to
Yeah,
take action to accept it.
yeah.
So,
But we're good for the application.
yeah, I think so, yeah. It's
Excellent.
good. I don't believe there's anything that you have to sign, because it's all an online submission.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Gentlemen, you want to get
Thank
one
you,
meeting
Peter.
about this?
Yeah, we got the appreciation later today, so I probably won't be till this afternoon.
That's fine.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys, I appreciate it.
Yes,
Tina?
thank you.
Have fun.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Speaking of the appreciation, we are planning to do that at the Park and Lake, which is gonna be a little bit trickier for us to help. So, we'll bring the stuff out there. We might need some of you to make sure things are kept up. And then we did get some to-go containers. There are probably a lot of people at the courthouse that won't be able to get away and go out there. So we've sent something out saying, hey, we're gonna have to-go containers. So either somebody could bring them out to us, or we could send someone from an office to go get meals for people if they can't get over there. So anyhow, that is,
Food all coming from Carlson's or something?
did you bring?
What?
Okay. You brought?
He's got
No,
mustard. I brought ketchup. Is that it?
that's great.
I've got
We
a
have
covered,
cookies and cupcakes, so
I got a covered bed in my pickup so I could haul.
that'd be fantastic. So we have a lot of the
We have
supplies
charcoal.
here. We're gonna need ice, which maybe Isaac can help you with out there, because he usually has some. And then really everything's down in the fridge. We'll have potato salad. We'll need to make sure and send out like the serving things. So, but we've got all the buns and everything, so.
Perfect.
And-
So you're gonna let us men set it up without the woman there?
Well, do you want to?
No, we need someone in charge.
I won't be there. I probably won't even get out
But
there
my girls
tonight.
won't let me do that.
No.
We do need a coordinator. We need a coordinator.
I do have some people that are planning to come out and
Okay.
set it up.
As long as you have someone.
I know we can do it, but it would be pretty.
Yeah.
Hey,
It'll
I
get done
think
by the
people
end of the
just-
day.
people just wanna eat.
Hopefully,
Here's your
hopefully-
burger.
Hopefully they won't be hungry, too hungry before 4 o'clock.
Right, he'll make sure the burgers and sausages
said-
cooked right.
No,
So
Yeah,
that's
we-
that part,
No, they
right?
We
want
said, food will be ready at noon, so that's what we've told folks.
That's our goal,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. I believe in you guys, I think you can do it. Okay, so the next thing I have is a bill of sale for the trailer.
Okay,
Because we had the document, I had no idea if it was approved or not, and so we're just gonna approve it in the meeting.
yep, that sounds
Okay,
good.
so I did look it over, we do have the title for the trailer, everything matches, and I checked with Krista. And so this is to transfer the trailer to the fire department. And so,
Yeah, is there a motion to approve?
Yep.
Motion
So
by
moved.
Commissioner Garing,
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Crowfoot, transfer the Health Department Safe Kids trailer to the City of Marion to be used by countywide fire departments,
As stated in the bill of sale.
as stated in the bill of sale. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
okay, I'll have a couple pieces for you to sign, and now this can just be done. Okay, so if you'll sign here.
Oh, that's one of them little trailers gone.
And right there on that center line.
I talked to a few of them, they're pretty excited that they got something to use.
It's a good fit. Speaking of fits, I hope the house does fit.
Yeah, no kidding, wouldn't that be cool?
Hopefully someone double checked the dimensions.
Okay, sales tax was received, but it was after you got your packets. And so the sales tax is $100,238.44. So 100,238.44.
Good.
Yes.
Now, back up there.
Okay, does anybody wanna look at the page? Okay. All right, and then we have payday. On the table, you have a new payday sheet, so it changed slightly from what was in your packet. And the reason is, we had an administrative error in the sheriff's department, they had shorted some hours, and so we went ahead and got them on. So there's, when you send, so the payroll number between what was in your packet and this one, it went up by $310.75. So the grand total is gonna be $632,918.30 for everything. And that's absorbing that special payroll that we did April 4th, it was actually a negative amount, it was a credit because of an insurance billing problem. So we have combined all those totals. At the top, that total payroll checks is $632,918.30, and it changed your grand total at the bottom from 1,413,713.87 to 1,414,024.62, if you see that. Okay, and with that, does anyone have questions about any
I'm
of
gonna
the?
make a motion to approve Western Associates in the amount of $935.36.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Becker, motion was by Commissioner Garing, second by Commissioner Becker. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay.
I abstain.
4 in favor, 1 abstain.
Okay. Any questions about any of the accounts payable or any?
One chuckle question.
Okay.
Page 13, we got an ambulance tattoo.
I know, we saw that too. We thought that was interesting.
Okay.
Would you like to look at that invoice?
Was it just
I
I
ground?
mean,
think
it's
it's
probably
graphics,
something that an
yeah.
actual tattoo on an arm or hand or something.
No, it's, let me actually pull it, because it's in marketing, so it might be something named out, like at Safe Kids or something.
Oh, well,
Maybe it's
we'll
okay.
rub on.
Yeah.
Fake tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, rub on maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
They should
Yeah.
have put fake on there.
Instead of a Band-Aid.
You know, maybe the taxpayers doesn't need to pay for a tattoo.
Yeah, looking at it 2 years from now, or if it was going back that far or so, looking at
Yeah,
bills.
we weren't super concerned because it's $146, but we did get a chuckle out of that as well. But I didn't look at that. I wasn't processing it and I didn't look at that.
If you remember at the
The
safety
custom one,
camp,
is it?
or the
What is it, say Marion County?
I'm gonna look.
health department meeting up there, you know, they had that little booth over there and those kids was getting tattooed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that's probably what it
Yeah.
was.
Maybe
Yeah.
that was it.
Uh-huh.
But I would imagine that's what it would have been.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
from
probably
modern,
not.
modern marketing.
Yeah, modern marketing,
Yeah,
ambulance
it
tattoo.
didn't say
29
Al's.
cents, there were 400 of them for 29 cents each.
It didn't say Al's Tattoo Shop.
Yeah.
So it's, looks like something they're using to hand out for
Thank you
events.
for checking.
Yeah.
It was more of a comment than asking a question.
There was
Pretty-
no etching on any humans or the ambulance.
No permanent markings.
No
Permanent
animals were harmed in
markings.
this.
Yes,
I think we need to question it.
Sure.
Really,
Yeah.
I have no problems questioning it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's your job.
Yeah, shows diligence in part of the commission,
Yeah.
so that's good.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, little kids that love those little things.
Oh, yeah, kids love stuff like that.
Other questions? Not, is there a motion to approve?
I'd make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Dalkey to approve payday in the amount of $1,414,024.62.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Becker. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. You can start sending out checks.
Yay.
We're not gonna hold.
Okay, so I have a few things for you to
I'm not gonna
sign.
default.
We're not gonna default. Run down to the post office, pull them out of the box.
All right, there are actually
Two,
two
okay.
payroll ones for you to sign.
Okay, very good. Okay, it's tricky, because everybody's names are in different spots.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we got our routine.
Creature.
I like it better when it just says commissioner underneath. so I just-
He doesn't matter.
I don't have mine with me.
Did you vote no? Randy Santa Maria.
Tried, didn't I?
Both pages.
Oh, that's confirmed, actually.
Oh.
Department business,
Oh.
but that's not actually the final.
Sure.
The front one you have to sign also.
Wow, got one commissioner using multicolors. That's pretty good.
Unintentionally.
This is the tentative, or, you
Oh,
know,
okay,
the,
sure.
what it looks like right now for Monday.
Brad didn't have anything for us today. You didn't hear anything from him?
No.
Okay, I didn't either. Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
That's it?
yeah, that's all I have.
Commission comments?
That's what I brought these in for. Kind of starting my new thing here.
Okay.
But Marion County, it's sourced, well, the honey that's in this actually comes locally from here, but it's made down in Hutch. But the bottle, when you flip it over, it says CSI, so it's made here. the bottle itself.
Yeah.
I didn't bring a honey bear, but I brought a mustard bear, and it's got CSI stamped on the bottom of it. So it's also made here. So I just, and it's all 100% Kansas. So just promoting what we have here.
Yep. CSI is on the Leadership Marion County tour. That's one of the highlights.
So my husband works there, and he goes around checking all the bear butts everywhere we go.
Yeah. I do too. I do too. I've actually been up in South Dakota.
That was a
South
pretty good
Dakota.
comment.
And I've seen CSI. I'll flip them over in Walmart and whatever, and I'll see
They
it.
do all kinds of different shapes though
Yeah.
too, and he knows them all. He's like, yep, we make that bottle, we make that bottle. So-
It's a unique job.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Quality control.
They make
Yeah, quality control.
Something that some people around here don't realize is they make the bottles for Dorothy Lynch.
Yeah, they do. And a whole bunch of for VG, like automotive products.
Well, they used to make all the bottles for Hodgman powder.
Yeah, they do too.
Yeah.
Where do they bring in material from plastic? Is that all granulated or?
It's granulated.
Pellets.
Pellet.
You should just come and talk to my husband. He'll keep you entertained for hours about plastic.
Yeah, take the tour.
But they do, it comes in granules and
Granules,
they melt
yeah.
it down and then they have
Big
blow
pieces of
molds.
sand.
Yeah.
Well, their gas bill is healthy.
Electric bill is too.
Electric probably.
It's one of the biggest consumers in Marion County.
And property tax.
Yeah. Well, I just,
Someday it wouldn't even be a bad idea if we did, once in a great while, go take a tour of
Our
our
businesses,
businesses.
yes.
That's
Maybe once a quarter or
right.
something like that, pick one out and go to it.
Yep. Yeah.
I just,
Maybe you could go to two if they were close by.
Yeah.
Pick a district, hit a district, hit spots in the district.
really, really proud of what we got to offer here. I just want to make sure people know that there is something there.
Very good.
Markman's, I think, the third largest hunting company in the States. Yeah, we're anyway.
In the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're expanding as well. More places.
Yes, I have one comment that was called, the call come and wanted me to be aware of. There's a place for sale in Marion County that a former commissioner questioned years ago about how the taxes was paid. And he looked it up again and called me, and still under agriculture. There's never been a crop turned off of that piece of ground.
I
But
wonder
it's-
what piece of property you're talking about,
But
I think
it's,
I know.
but it's for sale right now for $3.5 million. And its value on this headline is, let's see, Hillsboro deer hunts, or Hillsboro hunting, Hillsboro, Kansas. And the reason why this, we just happened to take a tour and listen to fence viewing here last week, and talking about Marion County has changed from when I grew up, Kent grew up, all of us grew up here, well, you didn't, and you didn't grow up in Marion County, but you were right next to us. You were right next to us,
Yeah, he,
I was a mile away.
mile away. But,
it used to be Marion County before they cut it off.
Yeah, there you go,
east.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we've heard the stories of how our county is a lot of big, a lot of people has put a lot of our ground together and owns a lot of acres. And I think it is our due diligence to have it properly taxed. If it's a hunting place, I don't know the tax guidelines, but I think we ought to follow them and make sure our tax people do. If it's advertised as hunting, maybe that should be.
It's income producing.
Yeah.
of some
It's-
kind.
It's a gray area, I know, but they, so back on certain properties I've had, certain properties you've had, but if the property was hay, I would be taxed at a lower rate. But since it was trees, it was primarily used for waste ground or hunting purposes,
Yeah.
so therefore I got taxed higher. I don't know that that's the case. I haven't had to pay those taxes in a while, so.
Right.
There's a lot of gray area because, you know, you can farm bees,
Yep. Yep.
really.
They actually had one of the sessions about something about that. I'm not, and it definitely is something we should check into,
Yeah.
but at the same time, one of the questions that came up in the sessions was the hunting lodge here. And 1,000 acres, but there's a 5-acre spot in the corner that they put a pay. And in their definition, then that makes it agricultural.
Grandfathers it in.
Unless, like the lodge, of course, is separated out or a specific area. But if it's all under one ownership, it doesn't mean the whole parcel has.
It's probably all connecting too.
Yeah. But again, like Ken said, it is so.
It gets grayer and grayer because of
Right.
agritourism, you know.
But that doesn't mean you can't get a ruling. I mean, you just call them up and they'll investigate.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I would have no problems with our taxing department. I mean,
How many acres is this that you're talking about?
it's quite a few. It's quite a few acres. I didn't.
But it, you know, it's changing so much statewide. I've got connections out in Graham County, far northwest Kansas. They've had one sale in the last year that sold locally. All the rest of the sales came out of Texas and Colorado.
That's, this piece that I'm talking about is owned by somebody in Texas. And that's exactly right, Kim.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're all becoming kind of like Chase County. Chase County is pretty much owned by the state.
Owned by a couple people.
Well, yeah, it's because everybody brings their cows. So people bring their stuff from Texas,
Yeah.
and South Dakota, and North
Yeah.
Dakota, they bring them all the way here.
But it's a little different over
Crazy.
there because, you know, they buy the grass for
It's
their
for
cattle.
ag purposes.
Out in western Kansas, they buy the land to hunt on.
Yeah, and then
So
they lease it. till-
if I can make any money farming it a little bit, so be it. It's kind of the way it is. Yeah.
Tina, would you bear with us another 5 or
bet.
10 minutes? Okay.
Absolutely, I'm just
Sign-
signing
You're-
paperwork.
you're
I'm
doing your
good,
work.
Yes.
Okay. I was at the Kansas County Commission Association meeting. So I've got one takeaway that I want to bring in. So there's 2 pages. Take 2 pages, pass them around. I just want to lightly hit on it and then we'll get into more in depth. So one of my goals has been to bring at least $1 million a year in revenue to Marion County. Well, this is one that brings $600,000 a year. It's already in statute. The legislature just hasn't funded it. So what I'm talking about is the local ad valorem property tax reduction. You can give us all the history on that. And the county-city revenue sharing. So back in 2003, the state figured out that counties and cities can add excise taxes to gas and cigarettes. But that would mean every city, every county would have a different rate. So they made an agreement that that the state would do those taxes and then they would revert money back to the counties and cities. So everybody agreed and then they never funded it.
They did fund it, but then they took it away.
Correct.
Bunch of it.
Yeah.
They funded it,
Yeah,
but
they kept the money.
In 2003, then they quit funding.
That he keeps talking about.
Right, I have this whole big spreadsheet on it from
Yeah.
when, from a former commissioner that was working on that showed the impact of on Marion County.
Right. So it's gained traction because, well, you've seen in the legislative session, it's bill after bill after bill after bill. They're taking away power from the counties and cities. They're restricting our ability to raise taxes to meet inflation needs. But yet, they've got extra money and they keep restricting us.
Yeah.
And they keep hammering away that we need to give property tax relief, and they keep pressuring us, but yet they won't fund property tax relief that's in statute. So it was a big discussion at the meeting, and
Good.
Kansas Association of Counties is going to start a full press. This will be one of their top topics for next year. It actually did pass the House, So I think our representatives are already on board, but we need to get the Senate on board. Because the money is there.
What,
And the theme is, the appropriate theme is property tax relief.
what are the chances it gets vetoed though? A lot of bills have been getting vetoed.
Well, yeah, but this is back on a local control issue. And I don't think this is an issue. Anyway, the one sheet gives you, and yours aren't color, so it makes it more difficult. I can get color ones. We'll talk about it more in the future, but just to kind of touch on it.
I can scan that in and send it in color.
Oh, that'd be great.
If that's helpful.
Yeah,
I don't need to do it right now, but I can do it after the meeting.
okay. And then the other sheet lists out every county in the state. So you can look up Marion County, based on the numbers for 2022, our payment that we were supposed to get under statute, $591,356.
I come on board and they was cutting the percent finally down to nothing.
Yeah.
And they, when I started.
Yeah, we've got a state general fund surplus right
Yes.
now of what, 8 billion?
Yeah. It's
8 billion.
So they can afford to send it back to us to
Well,
leave our property owners.
We've got a governor that thinks she owns the general fund. The latest comment yesterday or the day before is she's proposing to give Kansas City, Kansas, $100 million for beautification for when they get the soccer thing up there in 2026.
Well, that's where this would be property tax relief across the state for every taxpayer, property taxpayer.
But don't think that's a gold mine now. It is,
Mhm.
but how you gonna, if it was to happen,
Mhm.
591,000.
Right.
How would you apply it? I mean, how would
That
you use it?
Comes on the 5
Right,
people in this room.
and that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
It'll be a job
Yep.
to not use it.
Right.
Then our taxpayers would look at us and say, well, you're just as bad as the one above us.
Yeah, it would have to be to not raise your mill and
Mhm.
actually inflate this into your budget and drop the mill.
Correct. And
What it comes down to is taxes, our taxpayers are paying, and it's coming back into our county, and then it's up to the 5 commissioners.
That
But at
would,
least that revenue is back in our county.
that would be a good thing.
Yes.
That would be a good thing, to get
Yes.
it back in our county, and I'm not
Yes.
saying that we would have to.
Get it
spend all.
first, then we fight over it.
Right. This is whether we go for roads or
Yeah.
whether it goes into tax relief.
This has definitely got some legs though, you can tell because the League of Kansas
Yes.
municipalities put this together.
Yes.
Mhm.
For
Association
what
of
the
counties.
the counties are doing, so
Yes.
it wasn't even written by the
No.
counties.
Which the new chairman of, or executive director of the League of Municipalities worked for Kansas Association of Counties.
there's
So
a
there
partnership.
is a very tight partnership there. And that's what you put together, League of Municipalities and the Kansas Association of Counties. Yeah, they're pretty excited about
Good.
having some.
Good.
I mean, Tina, you've seen the fight and the battle, and like I said, you've got all the information, but in the past, it's always been a matter of the state didn't have money. And the excuse was, well, we don't have the money. Well, here they are telling us, on one hand, they're telling us as counties, we're raising property taxes too much. On the other hand, they've got a surplus, and they have an opportunity, and they are in statute to provide us that money so we can do property tax relief. So it's a timing.
It's amazing it's taken 15 years.
Well, it was always.
Or more.
Well, 3 years ago, the state,
The state didn't have any money.
you know, they're not gonna do it if they're broke.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean they do it 2 or 3 years and then, but at least get what we can get.
Well, yeah.
I'm wholeheartedly hoping it happens. I mean, it's got, I mean, like you said, it's in statute.
Yep.
It was there, it's been there a long time, since
Yep.
2001, and.
One of the
a lot
things
Earlier.
they urge
65,
us,
yes.
when it comes to our revenue neutral hearings, you know, we're pushing and fighting inflation and, you know, trying to keep up, that we at least mention that. So anyway, I just wanted to bring up the topic.
Good information.
Well, that's-
Put it on the radar. Like I said, they are excited about it, and the timing seems to be right.
There's been different issues over the years. I've brought them, like you said, I brought them to us here, and this is just another latest deal of it that's good then. I'm glad to see the legislatures are looking at it. I mean,
Mhm.
if they're not looking at it, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, and again, it passed the House to fund that this year.
Need to talk to Wilborn.
Yep, and
And
his replacement.
And like in fact,
Yeah, because it'll be next year's session.
yeah, because Wilborn's basically not gonna
But Wilborn will
fight
still be
fag
here
on
next
the.
year, but we need to talk to both of them. Okay, that's all I have. Is there anything else? If not, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Blair, second by Commissioner Becker to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carried. Let's get to work.